What's up? This is Chris, and today I want to talk to you about my very first video that I'm launching on YouTube. The whole premise of my channel is going to be martial arts and mental health. Now, to give you some background on why this is such a passion of mine, I grew up in a family with mental illness, addiction, and a lot of it went untreated. In fact, that's why I moved in with my grandparents at such a young age. And where I'm at currently in life, I'm studying substance abuse, I'm studying psychology, so it's just interesting where school has taken me. Now, I'm not actually a huge fan of school, and you'll start to realize that as you continue to watch my videos. In martial arts, I found a type of liberation through the practice, meaning you go to practice, you hit it hard, you go hard, and you leave and you feel like your heart is open. You feel authentic, almost euphoric, right? Almost high a little bit. When I started training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I was about 19 years old, going into my 20s. I noticed all of these really, really awesome side effects to the practice. I mean, clarity of mind, I could focus way better in class, I felt more in tune with myself, I was moving my body in all these crazy ways, I was getting choked out and arm barred and leg locked and all of the above, and it was awesome. Started doing competitions a few months into it, and I loved the whole process. Started cross-training a few months after BJJ, about I would say several months into BJJ, studying at the same academy, Muay Thai, street self-defense, and Taekwondo. What I found was that these two combinations really, really highlighted one another, and I loved them. With Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I really start to feel calm in my movements and rolling, and having another person, like a big ass dude on top of me, and me learning how to breathe while somebody is like choking me out or try to attack my arm, and then all the while I'm learning striking, right? Moving with my breath. And it's given me a completely different perspective, and I'm having a lot of breakthroughs with these training. Now, the issue though was my mental health around a solid year into training, going hard, training, 7 days a week. And I found that I was at a plateau in my life, meaning I was no longer getting out of bed to go train. And that was the one thing that was really my hope. Like at the end of the day, after work, before work, whenever I could go to training or train by myself, right? And then I realized I need to do something about this. So I went to go see a counselor at my college. That wasn't really working. So then I've always been opposed to medication. Like I fucking hated the idea of taking any type of medication to feel normal. And I feel that a lot of people resonate with that. Like, I don't want to take anything, because I want to do it on my own. And that's totally fine. But I think when you're at the point of no return, then that should be considered. You know what I mean? After a lot of holistic alternatives are tried. So I went to go see a psychiatrist, got diagnosed with generalized anxiety, but really later down the line, it was more specific to manic depression. And I started taking medication for it, and it was awesome. The two went hand in hand with one another. I mean, the medication gave me a clarity of mind, and my training gave me a clarity in spirit and intent. And those two dualities that came together were it was very beautiful. It was very poetic in how those two connected in my life. Now, let's fast forward a year after I started taking the medication, a year to 2 years, somewhere in between there. I started taking medication and training mixed martial arts. I started to feel my mental state drop a little bit, and I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? Like, at one point, my medication basically saved my life. It, gave me a sense of hope to go to work and to go train and to meet up with friends and see family and all of that. And now I'm at a crossroads where I'm like, I think I should start to get off this medication, because I don't know if taking it further down the road is actually going to help me. In fact, when I stopped taking it a year to 2 years into it, I felt that it was very numbing, and a lot of things started coming up again. A lot of past trauma, a lot of experiences that I thought I already got over, but it turns out that I didn't necessarily get over, right? And now you're having to deal with all this heavy, dense energy. So I decided to stop the medication and to get more into holistic practices. Now, at the time, what did that look like before I got on medication? Oh, I tried to take St. John's Wort. I tried to take 5-HTP, GABA, more like herbal supplements to balance out my mind. But the breakthrough that I had one day was that I did so much training, and it wasn't truly giving me the balance that I needed in my life. Meaning, there was no recovery. There was no true healing. Like, sure, yeah, I was training a bunch and I was hitting it hard. I was hitting paths. I was learning all this new awesome stuff. Striking methods and grappling moves, jiu-jitsu moves. But at the same time, I feel really, really awful inside. I mean, it's like almost to the point where I would say that I was a little codependent on mixed martial arts. Like, if I didn't train that day, I felt just like off around people. I just felt off around myself. Like, if I didn't have it in my life, I'm like, oh man, today is nacho day. Like, it was like the Unforgivable, dude. It was so bad. And I realized I truly need to start balancing out my training if I'm going to get off medication. Now, that's exactly what I did. I've been off medication for a few years. I think it's around 2 years now. So, this is where I'm going with this channel. I'm giving you a breakdown right here, and if you care to subscribe, go ahead and do so. I would love that. If you don't, if it has nothing to do with you, then move on. I'm giving you different recovery / I would say healing systems, along with the martial art training, the different moves that I do, different elements in which that I teach. I've been teaching for a couple of years, group fitness classes and mixed martial arts. So with all of this information that I've acquired over the years, and rewind real quick to teaching, man, that's a process in it of itself. I mean, you really have to become one with yourself while teaching. It truly gives you a different perspective on where you're at in your life, because you need to get up in front of people. You need to be present. And how do you do that when you're feeling off? Like, how do you be motivated? How are you motivating when your mind isn't right? Or if you didn't work out that day, like you're feeling a little off. Like, my whole premise is to provide some type of value that I wish that I had when I was going through my diagnosis, everything leading up to those events, me taking medication. If I wanted to get off medication, what the hell does that look like? Is there even a process? Is there a diet for that? How does it look to eat and balance your mind out? What habits do you uphold? What can you cut out from your life and add into your life? So that's that. And if you think you're going to get any value from this channel moving forward, share it with a friend, subscribe, like it. Until next time, see ya.